It's incredible to think that a poet from the 14th century could capture a truth so profound, so absolutely timeless, in just 42 characters. Today we're going to dive into a masterpiece that does exactly that. It paints this stunning picture of nature's raw power set against human fragility. But before we get into what it all means, I want you to just listen. Let's experience the sound, the music of the poem in its original language.
山坡羊，潼关怀古，峰峦如炬，波涛如怒。山河表里潼关路，望西都亦踌躇。伤心秦汉经行处，宫界万间都做了土。兴百姓苦，亡百姓苦。
Okay, so let's take this line by line now. The poem opens with this, Fengwan Ruju. So what does that really mean? The mountain peaks converge, as if in a great gathering. Think about that phrase for a second. The poet doesn't just say, the mountains are big. No, he says they gather. It's like these huge static giants are actually alive, actively pressing in on each other. He's giving them this sense of movement, this incredible, almost overwhelming power, right from the very first line.
So, we have this immense pressure from the mountains, right? And now the poet shifts our focus to the water, to the raw energy of the river. Bo Tao Ru Nu.
The waves of the river rage. It's not just that the river is flowing fast. No, the poet says it's furious. He's literally giving the Yellow River a human emotion, rage. This isn't just water we're talking about. It's this pure, untamed, wild energy. So you've got these two immense forces, the gathering mountains and this furious, raging river.
And where do these two incredible forces of nature lead us? Well, they come together to form this natural fortress. Shanhe Biali Tongguan Lu.
And just like that, with only a few characters, the poet has built an entire fortress right in our minds. This is the legendary Tongguan Pass we're talking about, a place that was hugely important strategically in Chinese history. You see, he's not just painting a pretty picture of the scenery, he's showing you why this place was considered basically impenetrable. This idea is so powerful, it's actually captured in a classical idiom, Shan He Piaoli. It literally means mountains and rivers, inside and out. For centuries, Tongguan Pass was the gatekeeper to the ancient capital Chang'an. If you controlled this pass, you controlled the very heart of the empire. So this landscape, it's just soaked in history and conflict.
Okay, and then everything changes. There's this sudden shift in the poem. The rhythm, the focus, it all just narrows right down. Wang Si Du Yi Chu Chu.
This right here, this is the turning point of the whole poem. We've just been looking at this epic, massive landscape, and suddenly, bam, we are inside the poet's head. We're feeling what he's feeling. All that grandeur of nature just falls away, and we're left with this very intimate, very human feeling of sorrow and hesitation. So you have to ask, why? Why is his heart so heavy?
Well, to really get it, you have to know a little bit about the poet himself, Zhang Yanghao. This was a respected official who had already served a long career and retired. But then, at 60 years old, he's called back for this absolutely heartbreaking mission, to bring relief to a region being devastated by famine. He wrote this very poem while on that journey, and it was a journey from which he would never return. So you see, he's not just some tourist admiring the view. He is a man on a mission of mercy, heading straight into a land of profound suffering.
And knowing that, knowing where he is and what he's heading into, it gives this next line so much weight. He's looking out at this landscape, and he's seeing more than just mountains and rivers. He's seeing the ghosts of history.
上清秦汉经行处.
He is standing on ground that is just saturated with history. This isn't just some mountain pass. It's the very ground where these great empires, the Qin and the Han, rose up and then fell. He can feel the weight of all those centuries, of all the ambition and all the bloodshed this land has witnessed, and it breaks his heart.
So what was the result of all that ambition, all that history? The poet gives us an answer that is just absolutely devastating. 宫阙万千都做了土.
10,000 of their palaces have all turned to dust. I mean, just think about that contrast. He conjures up this image of 10,000 palaces, a symbol of unimaginable wealth and power. And then he tells us their fate, all of it, just turned to dust. Those eternal mountains and that furious river from the beginning, it feels like they're mocking the fleeting, fragile nature of human glory.
And this brings us to the poem's unforgettable conclusion. I mean, these are two lines that have echoed through Chinese history for 700 years. It is a truth boiled down to its very essence. Xing by Xingku, Wang by Xingku. When empires rise, the people suffer. When empires fall, the people suffer.
So let's put it all together. You have this man, this poet, on his way to help starving people. And he's looking at the grand sweep of history and seeing this one constant, heartbreaking truth. When empires are rising, who builds their grand palaces? Who pays the crushing taxes? The people suffer. And when those same empires fall, amidst war and chaos, the people suffer again. The great struggles for power are just a passing show. The suffering is constant. And for him, this isn't some abstract thought. It's a conclusion born from this deep empathy for the very people he was sent to save.
And so the poem leaves us with this powerful question to think about. When the palaces are all gone and the emperors are forgotten, what actually remains? Zhang Yanghao's answer is clear. The mountains, the river, and the quiet, recurring story of ordinary people. It's a timeless and powerful meditation on what truly endures.